Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. You don't know, my name's Chad. Take a dive on sports. And this is pretty much a breaking news type of video because the College Football Playoff Committee has approved expansion of the playoff to 12 teams. As of right now, there's no particular time frame when they will do this, but they said they want to do this quickly as possible. The current contract for the playoff is set to expire in 2025, so I'm sure there's a way to maybe start that in 23 or 24. So you're definitely going to see this happen before the end of the current expansion or termination of the current contract. So it's definitely interesting that it went this far. It was rumored to go 12 previously, then talks died down, then the whole conference realignment scenario just kicked in, and everyone went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And there's still talks of doing this one. So there's no way to really kind of determine to see where things are going. So I'm kind of reading this as I'm going along, so just kind of bear with me a bit on this one. The expansion as a concept, it's now up to the 10 commissioners and the Jack Sawbrick, who is AD at Notre Dame, and those who comprised the management committee to oversee implementation. They're scheduled to meet next week in Irving, Texas. The main topics in the document would be when to begin the implementation of this 12-team format. Like I said previously, it could happen as soon as 2024 or perhaps the 2026 when the current plan expires and the new one is implemented. They should have everything ironed out for them to implement it in 2026. And then also how to determine which teams will qualify for the playoff. And then they do automatic qualifiers. So you take the top 6 ranked conference champions and the top 6 ranked at large, which I think is a very viable concept out there because it ensures your best conference champions. And probably about 9 times out of 10, you'll guarantee all of your group of 5. And it pretty much guarantees your group of 5 in there as well. Guarantee your Power 5, all of them being represented, and a Group of 5 member. And then you have your 6 at large, so that will give like conferences like the SEC and the Big Ten, the ACC, those with multiple members in there, to have opportunity to probably put more teams in the playoff. So you could probably still see an Alabama Georgia final, or you can see in the first round. So I think they're still trying to figure out how the best way to go about this, how to figure out when the first round will be, who's going to get the bye. Is it going to be just the top 4, or is it going to be the top 4 conference champions? Do they continue on-site campus throughout until you get to the semifinals? Or do you do, okay, here's the first round at campus sites. You can do a week after the Army-Navy game, which is the last game of the season. That's even after conference championship games, mind you. And then go into probably like 4 games to create like a bowl game as your your second round of playoffs, and do like maybe the Las Vegas Bowl, Los Angeles Bowl, Texas Bowl, and throw another one out there with a decent sized stadium, the Alamo Bowl, and have those 4 play as the playoff, the second round matchups to determine who goes into the semifinals and New Year's Six bowls. I mean, that could be a possibility as well. Taking away some of those bowl games and becoming a playoff scenarios. Which, if you see the current landscape of the bowls, who have way too many bowl games, I think, anyways, when you're allowing 6 and 6 programs, 6 and 7 programs, and even sometimes 5 and 7 programs get into bowls, and barely seeing the stadiums get filled. And you see players opt out of them anyways because they don't want to injure themselves in a bowl game and make themselves more available for the draft. So there's a lot of things to kind of look at this one. So one thing is kind of looking at the 12-team format has been valued at a $1.2 billion annually. There's a reason why they're going to this. It's all about the Benjamins. Right now, it'd be up from the current $600 million that's currently the contract now. So you're looking at a double the price to host college football. And of course, college football commissioners, conference commissioners are going to want more money. Now, I know the elitists are going to say this is going to water down the regular season. No. Will you have 3 lost teams in there? Yeah, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Same thing happens with the conference championship game. You'll have a team that's far worse than the other 4 in another division, but just because the divisions are set up, they get in the conference championship game and have a chance to upset the conference favorite. So that's one of the beauties of football, is you can't count anyone out. And going over last year's type of scenario, your 6 highest ranked conference champions would have been Michigan, Alabama, Cincinnati, Baylor, Pittsburgh, and Utah. And Utah's the only one on here with 3 losses. Then the next one, the 6 at larges would be Georgia, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Ole Miss. So it doesn't constitute you lose 1 game and you're out. It pretty much goes win your conference first, play the best you can, and maybe you might get rewarded with an at-large bid. That doesn't water down anything. Just like if you look at any other sport, it's either win your division or win your conference. You look at the basketball tournament, March Madness. You win your conference tournament, you're guaranteed a slot in the final dance. Same thing here. Win your conference, you're more likely guaranteed a slot in the playoff. I think it'll make the scenarios a little bit more interesting. Give teams that may have a bad game and then bounce back, or maybe when they have a late season misfire, like in this scenario, Ohio State, when they lost to Michigan, still able to get in there. They could have made some noise. Who knows? Then I understand everyone's going to say, no, it's Alabama and Georgia. No one can beat those 2 teams. And you're probably right. I mean, they proved it in just the 14 format and the 12-team format, and they may stumble. You never know until you do it. So I'm not completely happy it's a 12-team format. I think I've been better off with an 8. But 12 is coming. When is another question, priority 2024 or in 2026 after the current contract expires. And how is determined, still kind of up in the air, but it's leaning towards your top 6 conference champions with your top 6 at large bids based off the final college football playoff poll. But hey, let me know down below what you think. Do you think this is good for college football? How would you do this differently? Do you think this is just one step in the process? Do you think it's going to go to 16 later on? Do you think the mega conferences are still coming? Let me know down below. Once you do that, make sure you hit that thumbs up, especially like the content provided your Elite Places YouTube guides. I'll promote this channel out. You also subscribe. Once you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification. I'll let you know next time I post a video, and I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.